Look, I don't ask for much in life. I'm not the kind of guy who dreams of yachts, mansions, or fast cars. Honestly, my life goals are pretty simple. A roof over my head, a job that doesn't make me want to scream every morning, and most importantly, my own damn food. That's it. That's all I want. But apparently in my household, that third wish is way too much to ask for. Why? Because I have a sister, Emily, 23 years old. And how do I even describe her? Emily is basically a human-sized raccoon with zero respect for personal boundaries, especially when it comes to food. And the absolute worst part? My parents enable her. Emily has been stealing my food for years. At first, it was little things. She'd swipe a couple fries off my plate, sneak the last cookie, or take the slice of pizza I was saving. Annoying, but not the end of the world. But over time, those oops, my bad moments turned into full-blown crimes against my stomach. If I left leftovers in the fridge, they'd be gone the next morning. If I bought my favorite snacks, I'd come back later only to find the empty wrapper stuffed in the trash. And every single time I complained, my parents gave me the same lame excuses. She's your little sister. Just share with her. You're a grown man. You can always buy more food. She didn't mean it. She thought it was for everyone. Yeah, right. Meanwhile, Emily would just giggle, bat her eyelashes, and walk away like she was some princess while I was the peasant stuck living in food prison. But then came the breaking point. A few weeks ago, my girlfriend Mia made me a homemade lasagna. And let me tell you, this wasn't just some thrown-together pasta dish. Mia is an artist in the kitchen. She spent hours perfecting that lasagna. The sauce was rich, the cheese perfectly melted, the layers stacked with absolute precision. It was cheesy, meaty, and literally made with love. It was the kind of meal you dream about, the kind you save for yourself, guard with your life, and savor like a king. All day at work, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I could already taste it, the garlic, the herbs, the melted cheese. I drove home like a man possessed, because the only thing on my mind was that lasagna waiting for me in the fridge. But when I opened the fridge door, gone, completely gone, not a single bite left. The only evidence of its existence was an empty glass dish sitting in the sink like the aftermath of a crime scene. And then, right on cue, Emily strolled into the kitchen, licking her fingers like the criminal mastermind she is. "Oh my God, that was so good," she said, stretching like she just had the best meal of her life. "You should totally get Mia to make another one." I saw red. "You ate my lasagna?" I asked, my voice shaking. She just shrugged. "I was hungry." "You knew it was mine." Another shrug. "It's not that big of a deal. You always make a fuss about food." I swear I could feel my soul leaving my body. Of course, my parents jumped in to defend her. It was just lasagna. You should be happy she liked it. Mia can always make more. That was the moment. That was when I decided. Emily was never stealing my food again, and I had the perfect plan. See, Emily had a big date coming up with a guy named Ryan. She'd been obsessing over him for weeks. She wanted everything to be flawless, the outfit, the makeup, the mood, the food. She kept talking about how she was going to cook for him to impress him. And that's when it hit me. I would make the most delicious, irresistible dish in the world and let Emily steal it. The secret ingredient? Laxatives. Not enough to hurt her, just enough to ensure that her perfect date night would turn into a complete disaster. I spent days preparing, bought the best ingredients, slow-cooked the sauce until it was heavenly, layered flavors like a 5-star chef. The smell alone could have won awards. And to make it even sweeter, I set up cameras inside the house, one in the living room, one in the dining area, one pointing toward the bathroom hallway. Because if I was going to do this, I wanted front row seats to the chaos. Finally, the big day arrived. I made a creamy, cheesy pasta top with garlic butter shrimp. It looked incredible. It smelled divine. Even I wanted to devour it on the spot. But nope, this dish had a purpose. I added the secret ingredient, placed it in the fridge, and waited, right on schedule. Emily strutted into the kitchen. She spotted the pasta immediately, her eyes lighting up. She grabbed a fork and dug right in. "Oh my God, this is amazing," she said, moaning with every bite. I almost applauded. Perfect. She ate half the dish and then, exactly as I predicted, put the rest back in the fridge to serve to her date. My trap was set. 8 p.m. Ryan arrived. He looked like a guy who posed for cheap cologne ads at the mall. Emily turned on her sugary sweet voice. "Oh my God, Ryan, you look so handsome." They sat down, and Emily served him the pasta. My pasta. Ryan took a bite. His eyes widened. "This is incredible. You really made this." Emily giggled, flipping her hair. "Of course. I love cooking." Meanwhile, I was in my car outside, watching everything on my iPad. I was already wheezing with laughter. 8:20 p.m. It begins. Emily's smile faltered. She shifted in her chair, pressing a hand against her stomach. I could hear her stomach gurgling through the camera mic. Then Ryan paused too. His expression changed. He blinked, shifted in his seat, and then, puff! A tiny fart slipped out. His eyes widened. Emily's eyes widened. And then, brarap, Ryan broke the sound barrier. I was in my car, cry with laughter, slamming my hand against the steering wheel. By 8:25, chaos had erupted. Emily shot up from the table, muttering something about the bathroom. She bolted. Ryan sat frozen for a second, sweat pouring down his forehead. Before his stomach roared like a demon, he sprinted after her. The problem? Emily didn't lock the door fast enough. Ryan barged in. Both of them screamed. "Get out!" Emily yelled. "I can't hold it." Ryan shouted back. They were literally fighting over the toilet. From my car, I was gone, tears streaming down my face, laughing so hard I could barely breathe. But it got even better. Emily finally locked herself in the bathroom. Ryan pounded on the door, panicking. His stomach growled again. He had no choice. He ran for the guest bathroom. Locked. Nowhere to go. His eyes darted around the house like a man searching for salvation. I thought he was going to use the kitchen sink. But then he spotted the back door. He sprinted outside. At the same moment, Emily stumbled out of the bathroom, holding her stomach. They collided in the hallway like two trains at full speed, both of them clutching their guts, both releasing sounds no human body should ever make. Ryan scrambled outside toward the bushes. Emily collapsed on the floor, groaning in defeat. And me? I was nearly on the floor of my car, screaming with laughter, begging for air. Then headlights flashed. Mom and Dad pulled into the driveway. The moment they stepped inside, the smell hit them. Mom gagged. "What the hell is that smell?" Dad was dry heaving instantly. They turned the corner and found Emily sprawled on the floor like a soldier after battle, sweat dripping, makeup ruined, her hair disaster. And then Ryan stumbled in from the backyard. His shirt was half off, his belt undone, his face pale and sweaty. He looked like a man who had just survived an exorcism. Dad's jaw dropped. What the hell happened here? Emily weakly pointed at me. "He poisoned me." I raised my eyebrows. "Me? Poison? That's a bold accusation. Maybe your cooking didn't sit well." Ryan muttered. I need to go home," and just walked out, didn't say goodbye, didn't grab his jacket, just left a broken man. Mom started crying. Dad glared at me. Emily tried to crawl toward me, but collapsed halfway. The aftermath? Oh, yeah, I got grounded. But was it worth it? Every single second. Because from that day forward, Emily never stole my food again. And that, my friends, is how I won the greatest sibling battle in history. Now, you'd think the chaos would have ended that night. But oh no, the aftermath was just as good. First off, Emily's perfect relationship with Ryan? Gone. Poof. Over. He never came back. In fact, the man literally ghosted her. He didn't text, didn't call, didn't even block her. He just vanished into the void like she never existed. And honestly, I don't blame him. If I had to share a toilet battle during date night, I'd disappear too. For days after, Emily walked around the house like a zombie. She barely spoke, barely ate. Every time she passed the fridge, She gave me a death glare like I was the villain in her life story. Mom tried to comfort her. "Sweetie, it wasn't that bad. Maybe he'll call you." "Dad?" Dad just muttered. The smell? I'll never forget that smell. Meanwhile, me? I was living my best life. Every snack I bought, safe. Every leftover I saved, still there the next morning. It was like paradise. Emily didn't dare touch my food anymore. Oh, and Mia? She thought the whole thing was hilarious. When I told her what happened, she laughed so hard she nearly fell off the couch. Her exact words were, "Well, at least now she knows not to mess with you. And not to mess with my lasagna either." But here's the cherry on top. About 2 weeks later, Emily came into my room. She stood there awkwardly, clearly embarrassed. She muttered, "Hey, can I maybe borrow some of your chips?" I turned, raised an eyebrow, and said, "Sure, as long as you don't mind if I season them special." Her eyes went wide. She turned pale, shook her head, and left the room. That was the moment I knew my victory was complete, because from that day forward, the fridge became sacred ground. My food was safe. My snacks survived. And Emily, well, let's just say she now thinks twice before stealing anything that belongs to me. So, yeah, was I grounded? Yep. Did my parents yell at me for weeks? Absolutely. But was it worth it? Oh, you better believe it. Because sometimes revenge isn't just sweet, it's cheesy saucy, and served with a side of garlic butter shrimp. And that, my friends, was the end of the greatest sibling war ever fought.